Scannel, Sego, and good afternoon, Six Nations members. I'm reaching out to everyone in this time of crisis, sorrow, and mourning. The elected council and I would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to the families affected by the tragic motor vehicle accident that occurred last Thursday morning. Compounding our situation in this COVID 19 pandemic is a especially difficult situation for all. And our families are large and they often gather in situations like this for comfort and support. We just want to extend that to our families that we are with them and here for any support needed. And we just want to ensure that people think about protecting one another and staying safe while doing so. I also would like to remind our community that we are so fortunate to have support services within our community to assist during times of crisis. We have a dedicated and hardworking mental health and addictions teams, crisis response, and a range of other social, mental health, and health services that are available for our community members. Please consider reaching out. And the different teams are very supportive and they want to help during these times. So just before we begin with our announcement, please note that these COVID-19 bulletins will continue to be provided to the community as we journey through our path of recovery from this pandemic. Also noting that these bulletins are separate communication from my regular Friday radio show updates. I want to bring the community some reassurance during these difficult times. Reassurance that together as a community, we can flatten this curve and together we will put down the second wave while apart. We must unite as a community like we did during the start of this pandemic and commit to public health guidelines to help slow the spread. We are at a very precarious state with a number of COVID positive results, and community transmission is concerning in Six Nations right now. As of yesterday, October 19th, the Australian Public Health confirmed Six Nations has 31 active cases within our community. This includes 4 new positive cases that were reported yesterday. With the Thanksgiving long weekend 2 weeks past us, I fear more cases will be revealed. Currently, there is significant community transmission present within our community, which is extremely alarming. Again, due to the alarming rate of community transmission, contact tracing is overwhelming in our healthcare staff. We need the community to understand how serious this is. Our public health and health services are stretched extremely thin at this time. There's a huge demand for personal support workers as well as nursing staff because of the rise in cases. Redeployment and staff to the assessment center are affecting regular services, and we must not forget our healthcare workers through this COVID 19 pandemic. As a result, the Six Nations Police are increasing patrols within our community. And again, to our young people, we are expressing the public health have expressed concerns with the significant transmission of COVID 19. So we ask that you please reconsider gatherings with your friends. It is very risky given the alarming community transmission rate currently within our community. We must remember the faster we can contain COVID, the faster we can get back to some sense of normalcy. And the fastest way to contain COVID 19 is to slow the spread by staying home as much as possible. If you have symptoms, just be safe and call the assessment center. We don't wait, don't hesitate. We're asking that you just call. Considerations to moving back from our current stage 2.5 are up for discussion within our emergency control group, and we will advise when decisions have been made at that time. As a precaution, non-essential visitors to the Iroquois Lodge are not permitted at this time. Also, a reminder that our emergency food support services are open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and can be reached at 519 717 3404. Again, the emergency food support can be reached at 519 717 3404. For members wanting to book a COVID 19 test, please call the Six Nations Assessment Center toll free at 1 855 977 7737 or locally at 226 446 9909. This past Friday, October 16th, the elected council held a special council meeting regarding recommendations received from the emergency control group. The following recommendations were passed as motions and are now in effect within our Six Nations community. The first one is that all of our federal schools will remain closed to our students, but will be open to school faculty until January 2021, and that this situation be reassessed in December 2020 and a further decision made. The second motion is that Face coverings are to be made mandatory within all indoor public spaces and ride services, with the exception of children under the age of 2, a person with a medical condition or other disability that inhibits their ability to wear a face covering, a person who is unable to put on or remove the face covering without assistance, as well as employees behind a physical barrier, and we're in conflict with any college or professional guidelines. All elected council departments would be required to wear face coverings to enter buildings and to wear them indoors in their office where staff are unable to maintain physical distancing. Face shield or mouth shields are not acceptable, and face coverings when used on their own. The third motion reduces unmonitored indoor and outdoor gathering sizes to household members only. Again, the final motion strongly discourages home-to-home trick-or-treating this Halloween. In lieu of this motion, the elected council approved a COVID-19 safe community Halloween drive through event planned by Health and Social Services scheduled for October 30th, 2020 from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m., which will be held at the gathering place within their parking lot. Again, more information can be found on our social media pages as well as our website to again provide any further information to this specific event. Please watch for more updates on this to come. Again, contact tracing is still very important to contain the slow spread of COVID within our community. Consider keeping a journal or perhaps using voice recording apps on your phones to record your contact exposure over the past 14 days. We must continue to follow the core health principles in order to flatten the second wave curve, which are staying home when ill, even with mild symptoms, only leaving your household for essential purposes, maintain physical distance from others outside your immediate household, as well only gatherings within those within your own household. Clean your hands regularly with soap and water and or hand sanitizer. Wear a face covering when in public places. And finally, also to constantly clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces within your home and at work. Regarding our businesses that have customers traveling from outside of our community, especially within our tobacco industry and gas stations, we are recommending that those businesses consider wrapping up their COVID-19 safety measures, such as not touching personal identification cards, not allowing patrons inside of your business's establishment, and instead offering curbside and contactless pickup options where possible. We are pleading with local businesses to ramp up health and safety implementations and conduct screening for everyone entering your establishment. This will aid within contact tracing. On the radio this morning, I heard surrounding communities are beginning to check IDs before people entering businesses or refusing services, as well as offering people that have addresses within the province's hotspots. And so we'll look to those areas as well. This is one of the ways businesses are adapting to provide services during COVID-19, and we encourage our local businesses to adapt in the safest way possible. Reminder to the community that we have a COVID-19 hotline for businesses that can be reached at 519-750-4908 for any additional support. We're also pleading to any visitors coming to our territory for any shopping and recreational purposes to please respect our COVID-19 measures that are in place, such as maintaining physical distances while visiting Six Nations, wearing your face covering, and self-isolating for 14 days for those traveling across the border. Again, a reminder of the nearby hotspot areas that are growing in case numbers as well. Those areas include the Toronto GTA region, the Ottawa, and most recently, Hamilton areas. We strongly encourage members to not travel to those hotspot areas unless necessary. Traveling should be limited to essential services, or rather travel only at this time. And thank you for taking the time to listen to our second COVID-19 Community Bulletin. Please watch our social media outlets as well as our website for further information and updates. Until then, we must continue and uphold our responsibilities to fulfill Project Protect Our People. We are in this together. So until my next update, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you at our next update. Now, and thank you.